Hello students, in today's session we will discuss slope and deflection by Macaulay's method. In previous session we discussed assumptions of Macaulay's method for calculating slope and deflection of simply supported beam and overhanging beam. Now in today's session we will discuss assumptions to calculate slope and deflection of cantilever beam, and then we will solve a numerical to calculate slope and deflection of cantilever beam which is carrying point load and UDL both. So let's calculate one numerical, and here is the data to calculating numerical. So a cantilever beam 3 meter long is loaded as shown in the figure. Find slope and deflection at free end of cantilever beam using Macaulay's method. So here given beam is cantilever beam. The beam is fixed at end A and free at end C. The beam carries 20 kN point load at end C and it carries 10 kN per meter UDL of length 2 meter between point A to B. And total length of this cantilever beam is 3 meter. Now given value of E, which is Young's modulus of elasticity, is 200 gigapascal, which is equal to 200 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square. And value of I, which is moment of inertia, is equal to 160 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now, before calculating numerical, first of all, let us discuss two assumptions which are different than the assumptions that we considered for calculating slope and deflection in simply supported beam and overhanging beam. So, here are the two assumptions. So, first assumptions that we will consider for calculating slope and deflection of cantilever beam is that in case of cantilever beam, we will take origin on extreme right of the beam. Okay, so in case of simply supported beam and overhanging beam, we take our origin on left hand side. But in case of cantilever beam, we are required to take origin on extreme right of the beam. So here in our case, origin will be C. Okay, and another assumption is that in case of cantilever beam, we will calculate moment on right side of the section line. It means while calculating moment for cantilever beam, we will consider all anti-clockwise moment as positive and clockwise moment as negative. Okay, so these two assumptions are different than that we discussed earlier. Other four assumptions will be the same. Okay, now let's start calculating our numerical. So here in cantilever beam, we need not to calculate support reaction. So we will start with step number 1, which is formulating differential equation. So here is our differential equation, which is EI d square y upon dx square is equal to minus mx. So for formulating differential equation, first of all, we need to calculate mx. And for calculating mx, we need to divide cantilever beam into two parts. So let's first part is BC and second part is AB. And we need to take section in each part of the beam and we need to calculate moment in each part. So let's start with first part, that is BC. So I am taking section at a distance x meter from point C in part BC. Now let's calculate moment in part BC. Now in part BC, this 20 kilonewton load will generate a moment about this section line. Okay. Now here this 20 kilonewton load is acting in a downward direction, so it will generate clockwise moment about x-axis axis. Okay, about the x-axis section. Now here, as per the assumption, the moment generated is clockwise, so I am taking it as a negative. And the moment of this point load about the section line x-axis is equal to 20 into x. Okay. Now let's take second section at a distance x meter from point C in part AB. Okay, so in part AB, the UDL 10 kilonewton per meter, which is acting in a downward direction, will generate moment about XX section, which is clockwise in nature. So here the generated moment is clockwise, so again we will take it as a negative, and moment of this 10 kilonewton per meter UDL about this XX line will be equal to 10 into x minus 1. So x minus 1 is the length of UDL between B and this line XX. Okay, and distance at which this UDL acting will be equal to x minus 1 by 2. So the moment of this UDL about this XX section will be 10 x minus 1 square by 2. Now let's put value of mx in this differential equation. Then we will get final differential equation as ei d square y upon dx square is equal to plus 20 into x plus 10 x minus 1 square by 2. So we have completed step number 1. Now let's move to step number 2. So in step number 2, we will perform double integration of this differential equation. So let's integrate this differential equation. So we will get ei into dy by dx. dy by dx is the integration of d square y upon dx square is equal to plus 20. Integration of x is x square by 2 plus 10 integration of x minus 1 square is equal to x minus 1 cube by 3, and 3 multiplied with 2 is 6 plus c1. c1 is the integration constant. So we will get equation number 1, which we will use for calculating slope. Now let's integrate the equation again. Then we will get equation as ei into y. Now this y is integration of dy by dx is equal to 20 into integration of x square is x cube by 3. 3 multiplied with 2, so we get 6 plus 10 into integration of x minus 1 cube is x minus 1 raised to 4 by 4, and 4 multiplied with 6 is 24 plus c1x plus c2. So we get our second equation for calculating deflection. So now let's move to step number 3. In step number 3, we will calculate value of c1 and c2, which are integration constant, by applying boundary condition. So let's apply first boundary condition. So where x is equal to 3, means in cantilever beam origin is at C, so x is equal to 0 at point C. So when we are taking x is equal to 3, it means it is point A. So when we are taking x is equal to 3, slope will be 0. So here we are applying first boundary condition, x is equal to 3, then y dy by dx is equal to 0. If we put in our first equation, that is for slope, then we will get 0 is equal to 20. I am replacing x with 3, means 3 square by 2 plus 10, replacing this x with 3, so 3 minus 1 cube by 6 plus c1. So we will get value of c1 is equal to minus 103.33. Now let's apply second boundary condition. So when x is equal to 3, it means at point A, means at fixed end of cantilever beam, okay, y is equal to 0. So at point A means when x is equal to 3, deflection will also equal to 0. And if we put value x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0 in equation number 2, which is for deflection, then we will get 0 is equal to 20. I am replacing x with 3, so 3 cubed by 6 plus 10 replacing this x with 3. So 3 minus 1 raised to 4 by 24 minus 103.33 into x means 3 plus C2. And by calculating this, I will get value of C2 is equal to 213.32. Now, in step number 3, by applying boundary conditions, we calculated value of C1 and value of C2, and if we put value of C1 and C2 in equation number 1 and equation number 2, then we will get equation number 3 for calculation of slope and equation number 4 for calculation of deflection. Now, let's move to step number 4, where we will calculate slope and deflection at free end of the beam. Now let's start with calculation of slope at point C. So as per our assumption, point C is at x is equal to 0. So for calculating slope at C, we need to put x is equal to 0 in equation number 3, which is for slope. Okay, so by putting x is equal to 0 in equation number 3, we will get EI into theta C. Here theta C is slope at point C is equal to 20, replacing x with 0, so 0 square by 2 plus 10, replacing x with 0, so 0 minus 1 cube by 6 minus 103.33. So here this term will be 0, okay, plus 0 minus 1 is minus 1. So as per our assumption, if term x minus 1 is less than 0, then we will neglect it. So this term will also be neglected. So we will get EI theta C is equal to minus 103.33. So we can say that theta C is equal to minus 103.33 kilonewton into meter square upon EI. Okay. Now, if I need to convert kilonewton into meter square into newton into mm square, then I need to multiply 103.33 with 10 raised to 9. Okay. So 103.33 into 10 raised to 9 Newton into mm square upon value of E is 200 into 10 raised to 3 and value of I is 160 into 10 raised to 6. So I will get value of theta C, which is slope at point C, is equal to minus 3.23 into 10 raised to minus 3 radian. Now let's calculate deflection at point C. So again, for calculating deflection at point C, we need to put x is equal to 0 in equation number 4, which is the equation for calculating deflection. So if I putting x is equal to 0 in equation number 4, then I will get EI into YC. YC is deflection at point C is equal to 20, replacing x with 0 means 0 cube by 6 plus 10, replacing x with 0 means 0 minus 1 raised to 4 by 24 minus 103.33 into x, replacing x with 0, okay, plus 213.32. So here in this case, this first term will be 0, this term will be minus, so we will neglect it. This term will also be 0. So we can say that EI into YC is equal to 213.32. So we can say that YC is equal to 213.32 upon EI. Now 213.32 is in kilonewton into meter cube. So we can say that if we need to convert it into Newton into mm cube, then 213.32 into 10 raised to 12 Newton into mm cube upon value of E is 200 into 10 raised to 3 and value of I is 160 into 10 raised to 6. So it is equal to 6.67 mm. So here we calculated slope and deflection both at point C. So this is the end of this session. Thank you.